Welcome back and welcome to the last of the 4 steps in the negotiation process. This step is the pack up step. This is when we make sure that the agreement actually sticks. So we've discussed preparation, we've discussed probe, we've discussed the need to propose once you know what the other party wants and why they want it, and in the final stage today we are looking at pack up. So once we've made an agreement, it's important that we agree as to when we're going to implement this new agreement. For example, if someone is purchasing, say, a training program from our organization, when is the training going to take place? When do we prepare the invoice? When will they pay the invoice? And are both parties agreeable to those outcomes? Or if you're purchasing a home, when will the paperwork be exchanged, and how far into the future is the settlement? It is important that you get any important agreement in writing. Now, it doesn't have to be a legal contract initially, although you might want to get either party to write by hand what he or she agrees to. Now, the reason for that is it's much harder to get out of an agreement that someone has written, even by hand, versus a verbal agreement. You can come back to me and say, but I didn't agree, or I did agree, or you said you do that. It's much harder to prove something verbally versus something that is written. And if I have an agreement from you that is handwritten that says, I agree to purchase this product for this price, or even an email that says, please go ahead and create a booking for this training on this day at this price, it's much harder to dispute that later. So even a handwritten agreement or an email which is from that other person's or the other party's email address is better than having to wait 5 days for some type of legal contract. Now, indeed, if you need to get a legal contract, get it, but this is a stopgap measure. Check all the details of the agreement. Make sure that what the person has written is what both parties have agreed to, especially prices, payment terms, dates, etc. And as you come towards the end of the negotiation, it's important that the other person walks away and feels good about him or herself. You don't want them begrudgingly to sign something and realize that they didn't get what they wanted. So you want the other person to feel good about the decision that they've made. I hope that that makes a lot of sense. So the pack-up phase can be a really useful way of making sure that before you walk away and hop back in your car or walk down the road, that you've come to an arrangement that both parties can live by. You've got something in your hand that, although might be simply a handwritten note or an email, is something that you do have some legal standing on. Now, here's the thing. You might be thinking, but Paul, will that stand up in court? Well, I'm not a lawyer. What I do know is this. There is a much better chance someone is going to follow through on their agreement if they've written something down, regardless of whether it is a legal document or not, versus someone who has simply given you a verbal agreement. So please remember that. The reason why we want someone to write something down or to send us an email that has their email address on there is it's often morally harder for someone to walk away knowing that they've written that compared to simply giving you a verbal agreement where you have nothing but that person's word. Now, if this person is a very well-known client, chances are their word is their bond. But what if this person is someone you've never dealt with before or you don't know? This is why it's important getting something in writing. If you need your CEO or your law firm or your in-house counsel to ratify the agreement, then have them do that. Obviously, that's important, that you may not have the final approval to sign something off. But once again, make sure you do everything you need to do to ensure that the agreement sticks. Of course, if the amount of money you're talking about is a large amount. Alright, before we finish up, I have a special bonus for you. I've created a CD called Diffusing Dirty Bombs. Now, this CD, an MP3, which is what I'll be happy to send you, contains a range of dirty tricks and dirty tactics that some unscrupulous people try and use when they negotiate with us. Now, if you've been to one of our training programs and you've learnt some of the negotiation skills through our courses, I'd be happy to send this to you. All you need to do is send me an email letting me know something that you've used in a recent negotiation, just one thing that you've learnt from our course. Where do you send the email? Success Institute. It's one word, Success Institute @gmail.com. Say something like this: Hi Paul, it's such and such here, it's Fred Smith here. Recently when I did a negotiation, I made sure that I blank blank blank. Did some preparation, understood my tradables, asked them to give me their offer first. Whatever it was you've learnt, tell me what you've done, send it to this email address, and it would be my pleasure to send you this audio program that you can download and put onto your iPhone or iPod or MP3 player, or even listen to it on your computer. If you don't have a portable player, you can even listen to this on your computer. And I know that you'll gain a lot of benefit from the audio. So thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you found this short coaching follow-up very useful, and I look forward to talking to you soon. In fact, I want to hear from you so I can send you the audio series Diffusing Dirty Bombs. That's the end of this session, the end of the series. I wish you well, and until we talk together, please enjoy every success.